and strengthening regional competitiveness, and committed to deepen cooperation in this field. As was said, we have already completed the construction and already is working between Kenya and Tanzania, joining Isinya and the border of Namanga on this side. That is already delivering energy from Kenya and from Ethiopia. We are working on another line that we signed here today, connecting Kenya in Kilgoris and to the Tanzania side, which will again enhance energy delivery on both sides of the border. Again, to power our industrialization and our progress. We commend the progress made on the Malindi, Kilifi, Mombasa, Lunga Lunga, and on the Tanzanian side, the road connecting Lunga Lunga to Pangani, to Tanga, to Bagamoyo, and finally to Dar es Salaam, that we are jointly engaged in with the Africa Development Bank. And I have agreed with my sister, President Samia, that we will find time to go and inspect the development on that corridor, as it will enhance the trade, the investment, and the people-to-people connection, especially on the coastal corridor. We also reaffirmed our commitment to revive the Voi-Mwatate Taveta railway line. I informed my sister that last month I went to start the construction of that road that has been dysfunctional for the last 20 years. Last month, and by April next year, we will have connected Voi to Taita Taveta, and I have the confirmation of my sister that you will complete the line to Taveta from the Tanzanian side ahead of time. I have requested that that road should also be connected to Singida so that we can find a transport corridor joining your SGR all the way to Burundi. That will unlock the full potential of the East African community, connecting Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, and beyond. On boundary affirmation, we commended the progress made with 564 kilometers of the 778 kilometers boundary already completed, and commit to finalize the remaining work ahead of the African Union deadline in 2027. We also received regional security challenges, and we also reviewed regional security challenges and reaffirmed our commitment to enhance cooperation to ensure that our shared borders remains zones of peace, stability, and opportunity, and agreed that we should bring back the Ujirani Mwema framework, that helped public officials on both sides of the border to better manage the border so that we can keep away criminals, terrorists, drug traffickers, human trafficking cartels, and make sure that we keep the border what it should always be, to facilitate trade and business between our two countries. As founding members of the East African community, we reaffirmed our unwavering commitment to advancing regional integration and working together to realize the full potential of our community. We also noted that as our global supply chains continue to shift, our region is well positioned to emerge as a competitive hub for production and investment. To realize this potential, we must deepen our regional integration and pursue coordinated strategies that enhance our collective competitiveness. And on this note, allow me to explain our discussion on Tanga as a refinery, as a place of refinery. Nimeambiwa ya kwamba tangazo letu kwamba tujenge refinery pale Tanga imewakera kiasi. Lo, ningejua, ningetangaza hiyo refinery ijengwe Mombasa. Because the building of a refinery is a big opportunity. Big opportunity to business, big opportunity for industrialization, big opportunity for petrochemical industries, fertilizer industries, plastics industries. And when I had a conversation with President Museveni, our discussion was about how to industrialize our region using our resources, that our oil resources, our mineral resources, our agricultural resources should be used to industrialize our region. It is my belief, and that of the leaders in our region, that whatever raw materials we have, be it natural resources, energy resources, should be used for the industrialization of our region so that we can create wealth here, we can create jobs here, we can expand opportunities here, we can have industries here. The good people of Tanzania, you are lucky that we are discussing how to build a refinery in Tanga. It is an investment that the government of Kenya is willing to invest. The government of Uganda is willing to invest. You have heard, I'm sure, my good brother Paul Kagame, I'm told, said yesterday they are willing to invest. And many other countries are willing to invest. I hope Tanzania is also willing to invest. You know, because this will be an opportunity for all of us to create a big ecosystem of business opportunity and industry right here in Tanga. And I say so knowing very well that from Tanga to Mombasa is only 190 kilometers. And since we already have a pipeline of refined products from Mombasa, we will then use all our assets appropriately. We will use the crude pipeline that is coming from Uganda to transport the crude, refine it in Tanga, take it to Mombasa, transport it back to our region, and do big-time business together, both as countries and as the business community. I'm also looking at the opportunity for us as we discuss Tanga as a place to refine our products. We are looking at where also we are going to position the place for us to process our minerals. It is not tenable anymore for us to export raw materials. As a region, we must make it deliberate and intentional, not to export value, not to export jobs, not to export opportunity, but appropriate it right here. And that is the future of our development. We have been informed by the private sector that the longer we continue exporting raw materials, we are exporting jobs, we are exporting opportunity, we are exporting wealth, and in exchange, importing inflation, which is not what we should be doing. And so I have discussed with my good sister that Tanzania is going to lead the way to make sure that we use the resources that we have, the oil that we have in Uganda, the little oil we have in Kenya. I am sure South Sudan is going to come on board Already you have heard Rwanda is coming on board, because we all realize that it's time for us to use the resources that we have to industrialize our region. It makes absolutely no sense for us to export crude oil to all manner of places, and then we go struggle import finished product with the challenges in the Strait of Hormuz and all the other places. It makes absolute no sense for us to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, on the international cooperation, we reaffirmed our commitment to a rules-based multilateral system and to the principle of international law. We recognize the global challenges that are with us, from climate change to health crisis, that all these require collective action and strengthen, therefore, our resolve for international cooperation, starting with us as East Africans. As I conclude, once again, I want to thank my sister, President Samia Suluhu, for the gracious invitation and for the warm reception extended to us, as I congratulate her and the people of Tanzania for the just concluded elections and the manner in which you have taken the challenge and provided leadership. The commission that was set up to look at the issues that happened after the elections is an act of leadership. And Madam President, on behalf of East Africans, we want to congratulate you for providing leadership for Tanzania and our region, and making sure that we can resolve all issues that affect us within our borders. You have the support of all of us as you seek to resolve all the issues and make sure that we continue to have a region that is peaceful, that is stable, and that gives all of us an opportunity to do that which is very important, to provide opportunities, especially for the young people and all our business people and entrepreneurs. And you have our support and goodwill as we do this together. I can tell you from a position of knowledge that we've been through this as Kenya. And I am very confident that Tanzania has what it takes to also go through this and emerge stronger and firmer as a country. Finally, I am confident that the discussions we've held will translate into tangible outcomes for our people, and I urge that our respective teams, as was guided by the President, that all the non-tariff barriers that impede trade between our two countries, we have very clear instructions from our private sector that these non-tariff barriers serve the interests of nobody. And therefore, they should be resolved, as was ably instructed by the President, by the end of this month, so that East Africans can do business, can invest, and can trade without roadblocks and without barriers. Thank you very much, Madam President, for again receiving us in this beautiful city of Dar es Salaam. And I am looking forward to the next few days as I engage with the great people of Tanzania. Thank you very much. I hope I have explained myself enough.
Asanteni sana viongozi wetu, marais, kwa kuvumilia na kushuhudia utiaji wa saini wa mikataba 8, lakini pia kwa kutoa maono na mwelekeo wa namna tunaweza kuimarisha na kuendeleza ushirikiano wa nchi zetu mbili. Ndugu waandishi wa habari, sasa tumefikia mwisho wa press conference yetu, na kwa heshima na taadhima sasa na kuomba Mheshimiwa